Okay, we'll talk about it. Okay, no problem. Thank you.
You're on Restream and you're
Okay,
live on
we are
YouTube.
on Restream right now. Sorry for the technical difficulty. For some reason, it did not click properly. But we are here now. So start texting, tagging everybody. We're going to have a fun-filled class today with a lot of wonderful young people that are going to melt your heart. So let me start the record because this is going to be recorded on podcast as well as Ustream. No, not Ustream. BitChute and Odyssey. So here we go. I'm going to start the recorder. Okay, everybody, you're in for a treat today. And I'm not going to spend too long on the intro because we've already spent a little time trying with the technical difficulty. So fasten your seatbelt. It is time to learn and get in the moment. Let's start. It's time to dance. Here we go.
The Lillian McDermott Show.
We love, we fear, bridges we burn, we make mistakes, then we live and learn. When life gets tough, and it seems like your best ain't good enough. If you're in need of hope, you know where I'll be right here, right here. And when you need a friend, you can count on me. I'll be right here, waiting for
you. This is the place you can always turn to when you need a friend. The Lillian McDermott Show. To reach out to Lillian, visit her on the web at whenyouneedafriend.com. Now let's all learn together. Here's Lillian McDermott.
Hello, my listening and viewing friend. It's so nice we can meet each other on the air on this beautiful best day ever. And for those of you who are tuning into the classroom for the first time, please know I've been waiting for you. This is a safe place where you can go to when you need a friend. It is my commitment to provide alternative ways to heal, and it is my mission to make awareness, responsibility, and truth a part of our everyday life. And I hope you, my listening, as well as my viewing friend, will feel empowered to embrace a new truth and live the life of your dreams. Now, about a year ago, Robert and I went to Tennessee. Actually, we've gone 2 years in a row. We love Tennessee. It's so beautiful. But this time we went to a place called Pigeon Forge, or I forget the other place that we went to. And we stumbled upon this gem called the Listening Room. And little did we know that we were going to be razzle-dazzled by these beautiful 4 people that we have in the classroom, our teachers today. We have Brian Lowry. Raise your hand, Brian. Okay, and then we have Noah Gardner and Katrina Austin. There you go. And then we also have Aaron Simmons. He is just saying hello to everybody. And they touched my heart in so many different ways. And I know they're going to be unmuting themselves pretty soon because, you know, it's so important when you are sharing your talent to be vulnerable. And the only way that you can succeed in life is to be able to fall and get up, hear a no and do a yes, and all these things. And so I thought, as they were I was feeling like I was part of their family. I thought, you know, there's something very special that happens to us when we have a dream. It's called perseverance. And what causes me to persevere might be different than what causes you to persevere. And that's why I wanted all of them, not just one of them, all of them to come back and share their story. And since it is our sole purpose in life to give and receive love and knowledge, I am grateful that Brian, Noah, Aaron, and Katrina are here to do just that. Welcome, guys, to the classroom.
Hey, y'all. Hello.
That was kind of lame. Welcome, guys.
Hey, yes.
That's the kind of energy I'm looking for. Okay. So before we get started, I just thought, for those of you who are watching and you're interested, maybe you know Brian Lowry, or that you're watching him on his pages, or you are an avid listener, or this is the first time. I want you all to support every single artist in this class today, because every single one of them will touch us in a different way. Every single one of them is trying to achieve a dream. And so we're gonna mute the others, and we're gonna highlight Brian first. And so I want you, as they're talking, I want you to find them, like their pages, do everything you possibly can to help them, because collectively we can all help them achieve their dreams. Brian, thank you so much for joining us today. You get to be the first one. You were the early bird special.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Well, share a little bit about your background and what led you to write.
Yeah, I was born and raised in California, and then I went to college in North Dakota. I was the kicker on the football team at a tiny school called Jamestown College, now the University of Jamestown. And in college, I learned how to play guitar, or attempted to learn. And I had been playing drums since I was 10 years old, so I always grew up being a drummer. And then shortly after college, I started playing music for a living, and started writing music and playing all over the upper Midwest. And here I am today talking to you.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't it how you've come full circle and now you're here talking to me? But I am sure that I am just a little dot in your lifespan of all the successes and some of the failures, some of the how did you know this was your dream and that you wanted to do this? Because it takes a unique skill to say, I'm not only going to, play the guitar, but I want to be a star, or I want to be impactful. How did that dream start with you?
Yeah, I always thought I had kind of a weird path. I was the kicker on the football team, which is kind of a weird position. I was the drummers in the band, it was
background.
Not even background necessarily, but just finding a unique path to be a part of things. And I don't know. I'm kind of weird and quirky, but I also wear my heart on my sleeve and like to talk about vulnerability, as watching our show. And I think when I found out that I could attempt to do that and people latched onto it, then I just kept going.
What's that feeling that you get when you do a set, or when you sing to a crowd, or when you record a song? What's that feeling that you get that's no other?
The cliche answer, and it's true. It's a reason it's a cliche, is because it's true that when you see someone singing your songs back to you, that's like the ultimate prize for a songwriter or artist. But more so than that, I think just people understanding your stories and relating to the stories themselves, or the message of the story, I think is the most important and impactful part of what all of us do.
And so what is that story? What is the story you want to convey when it comes to your music, Brian? If you were to wrap it up, how has it been that you've been able to persevere? How long have you been doing this, first of all?
I've been, since 2010, full time. Yep.
2010. Have there been any moments that you've wanted to quit?
There's definitely been moments where I thought I would have to change my path in the music industry that I'm in, but never wanted to quit. But I've definitely had a moment in particular when I moved to Nashville in 2012 to be a drummer in a band. And I flew to Nashville for an audition, learned, 5 or 6 songs for the audition, did a great job there at the audition, and then came back to North Dakota. And a couple days later got a call saying I got the gig. So I moved, 4 or 5 days after that, left my wife here in Fargo and moved to Nashville. And it was one of those things where it's like, hey, if we're going to try to do something, let's just dive right in, And I got fired that same week from that same band that I moved to Nashville for after 4 shows, and rightfully so. I didn't play well. They're great people, and I still talk to a couple of them to this day. But it just didn't work out. It wasn't the right fit musically for me, and I got let go. And that's okay, because it led me to the first band I ever was a frontman for, which is a band called 32 Below. And we played, they've been around since 2001. And when their singer left, the timing worked out perfect. Mm-hmm. Where when he was leaving, I had just gotten let go from that band. And so I fronted that band for almost 8 years. And I learned a lot, got to tour the upper Midwest and even, Maui, the Bahamas, all over the country.
Wow.
Playing for thousands of people over those 8 years, and writing music and putting it out. So I think at least from my experience, anytime I've been tested or something like that's happened where it's so easy to sit back and be like, oh, poor me, I just got fired. Like, to try to find a different way to make your dream work, you know, and your dreams are always kind of changing a little bit, I think, as you get older and you experience life a little bit. But I always knew I wanted to be in music one way or another, whether it was being a drummer or a frontman or a writer. And all four of us, myself, Katrina, Noah, and Aaron, we're all doing it.
That's wonderful. And so, you know, I love how you said, you know, I got let go after the first week of doing this. There had to be a pull to get you there. That was the pull to get you there. But what I love about what you just said was you could have said, poor me, I got fired, feel sorry for me. Now I'll just quit for the rest of my life. You actually said, you know, I wasn't in that was not the good fit. And you found a new path. Just like water, you know, when water goes in, it finds a way out. It always finds a way out. And so I want to acknowledge you that you took ownership of it. And once you took the ownership of it, look at all the other avenues that you were blessed with, right?
Yeah. And it definitely takes work, right? Those opportunities just don't fall in your lap because you've had a hard time or a hardship. Like, you still have to work for that stuff. And that's the part that I really enjoy, is the hustle and the being in a writer's room for 10 hours in a day, you know, and like, just trying to hustle. I always tell people, they're like, it must be awesome doing what you do. And it is for me, but it's not for everybody. We have to create an idea out of thin air, make it sound good, right? Put music to it, and then present it in front of an audience. It's like essentially like a sales job, really. You know,
it was beautiful. Yeah, you guys.
And hopefully sometimes people buy it, and when I say buy it, I mean like really enjoy it and
engage.
And engage.
Engage. And that's what we did. And you sang the most beautiful song, and it was so funny. It was a song about when you were a baseball player. Was that what it was? That was a song that you played. And I was just, okay. I felt so comfortable in that room, at the listeners' room. It was with all four of you, that I even said, can you do that again? I want to record it. And you said, I'll do it later. So he dedicated the song for Jacob, and we did it in the parking lot. And for those of you who follow me, you can go to either my YouTube page. I think my YouTube page and my Facebook has that song with Noah. If you're a subscriber to the classroom, it was on Sunday's blog. So you can find it there if you want to do that. But that was just so sweet of you that the audience felt comfortable enough to say, hey, can you do that again? And when I mean audience, I mean me. I mean, I was the one that said, and you were so sweet. You didn't skip a beat. You said, okay, well, I'll do it after we were all done. And you did. You kept your word. So I'm very grateful to you.
Oh, thank you for being there and enjoying our show. Really appreciate it.
It was a great show. And so with all the songs that you've written, which one's your favorite one and why?
Oh man. So okay. I think
which one's your favorite child? It sounds like an unfair question, right?
Yeah. And in this case, I've got a bunch of triplets and quadruplets. Like I think I've written hundreds, like no joke, probably I think 100 songs in the last 12 months.
Yeah.
And a handful with Katrina, Noah, and Aaron. But Aaron and I wrote one last Saturday. I think it was 2 weeks ago, Saturday. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to say the title of it or the name of it, because we're trying to hold it close to us and like we're going to try to pitch it. But it was a really special song. But my wife's favorite, I'll go with this. My wife's favorite song, because she's a very integral part of my journey. And anytime like I talk about what I do, I really talk about what we do. Like I get to go be on stage, but at the same time, my wife is here supporting me every second of the trip, you know, of our journey together. And so she's an equal member of, you know, the Brian Lowry Band, you know. But her favorite song right now is a song called White Cotton Dress that isn't recorded or released yet. I'll be putting it out later this year, but that's her favorite song. So because
you sang that night, and it was beautiful. Yes. So that's going to be released when?
We don't have a date yet. It's not even recorded yet. So we're probably going to try to record it in the next 2 months.
Well, actually, I probably have it. I probably recorded it on my phone. I can send it to you. So if you were to say to someone who's listening today that wants to follow their dream and they're afraid of rejection, what would be your biggest takeaway before we get Katrina in next?
Yeah, it's going to happen. At some point, there's going to be rejection. And really, it's knowing that, I think, is what helps you get through it. Knowing that, and I don't mean going into something without being 100% confident that you can do something, but rejection is going to happen. That's just how it goes, right? And you don't know when it's going to come or any of that. So when it does happen, just know that if you work hard, like, and you have your eye on a prize, your eye at the goal, on the goal, like, stuff will buff out. It always works out. And it might not be the exact way you thought it is. And more than likely it's never that. There's some other path to get you there, but it's not the end of the world. Put a smile on and put your boots on and get to work and keep hustling.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Brian. And all of them are going to come back later, and they were going to be in the Teacher's Pet Corner. They're all going to sing a song, one of their favorite songs, for those of you who want to tune into the Teacher's Pet after the class today. So thank you, Brian. He's going to come back, and we're going to share where you can, real quick, where are you going to share, where can people find your music? So if they want to download your music.
Brian Loweree, BryanLoweree. Find me on iTunes, Spotify, anywhere you stream music, and get me on Instagram also.
Yes. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Brian. We're going to reconnect with you at the end with everybody. Thank you very much. Good job. Good job. Okay. There we go. There's Katrina. So Katrina and Noah are in the same room, but we're going to focus on Katrina now. And of course, Noah is going to be in the background, just like
agreeing with me.
Yeah,
he'll be agreeing.
He's not gonna do rabbit ears or anything like that. Yeah. Okay, Katrina, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you taking the time to share some of your experiences when it comes to perseverance. So share a little bit about yourself and what brings you to your passion of singing and writing.
Oh, wow. So actually I'm from Alabama, and I started later than these guys did on my journey, because when you grow up in Alabama surrounded in a small town where you go to high school, you graduate, you go to college, you meet the love of your life, you graduate, you get married, you have kids, and you find the job that you want to be in for the rest of your life. What did not in the beginning seem feasible to me, or smart, I guess is the way I should put it. It didn't seem smart to me to move somewhere that I didn't know anybody and basically risk everything for a not guaranteed position. Because this is one of those things where you either make it or you don't, or you get forgotten or you don't. And I'm just kind of hoping that I end up on the better side of that. And as far as when I started, my dad and my grandfather they always played music from when I was a child. I want to say the month I was born, my parents had me back where my dad was playing guitar, and I was just in a car seat sitting watching him. So as far as I can remember, my dad has always played music and guitar and drums. And so I had that background. And so as a kid, I sang around the house, but then when I got into high school and junior high, I joined choir. And then I went to a community college for music education, but I knew that my place wasn't in a classroom. So I want to say 2018, I came and I auditioned for the downtown circuits, and they wanted to work with me and stick me in a band, and where essentially I sang a couple songs an hour, ran the tip bucket, and that was really it until I decided that I wanted to create my own band. And then I did that for a little while, and now Noah and I work together a lot.
Very good. Very good. And so did you think that this was going to be the path you were going to take? Did you think, because did you have pressure to do what everybody was doing? Like, graduate high school, date the guy that, did you have the pressure, and how difficult was it to come out of the mold, break out of the mold in Alabama?
So there's a lot of pressure. You see your brothers and your sisters and your cousins and essentially your entire family doing what they love and what they want to do with their lives, knowing you don't want that path. Mm-hmm. So then even I love my family. I'm very close with my family. Sure. I would not, And I love the time that I get to spend with them. And it's the hardest part about this is being away from the people that you're so close to. Mm-hmm. And so it's very, very hard. It's definitely to take yourself out of what you know and what people have built around you and be dropped in somewhere that you have no idea what you're doing, who you need to talk to. Like you honestly try and go about it a certain way until it's like throwing darts at a dartboard until you just hit the bullseye.
Yeah. And so because your family is all, and I think it's wonderful that they're following their dreams,
right?
But you broke out of that mold. You're saying, these are not my dreams. This is my dream. Is there a greater fear to fail because you didn't follow the protocol? You didn't follow the path. And do you feel more pressure to succeed because you have broken out of the mold?
That's a tough question for me, because all I can say is if I fail, it's not because I didn't do my best and hardest work. So if it happens, I still have the support there that I need, and that comes with that. If I were to be more successful, I just couldn't right now. I would love that. I just can't imagine it right now, because I'm just trying to keep my head forward and work as hard as I can.
Well, that's the goal, right? I mean, isn't that the solution to kind of combating the fear? Because it's not an option, right. That's not an option because you've already succeeded. Mm-hmm. I mean, think about it. You're doing what you love. Mm-hmm. Now, have you ever thought of like, this is too much? It's just, I want this, but I'm like a salmon against stream. I mean, has that ever happened to you?
Absolutely. It happened. I want to say I was like a year and a half into working downtown, and it makes me sad, because when you work downtown, there is a certain level that only the female artists are allowed to hit. You are only allowed so much as a girl downtown. And so fighting that I fought that with, I can do more. I would like to do more. So the people I was paired with, I would say, hey, I can sing that song. Would you mind? And they would say, absolutely. They would let me sing the song. But when it came down to it, a year and a half into it, I completely walked away from that band because I wasn't getting treated correctly and I was out of work. So I had to fight even harder for work. And then the pandemic hit us. So
how difficult was that? Being that the bars were closed. Well, I guess some of the bars were still open, but for the most part, what happened to entertainment at that point?
We all went online. We all went virtual, and we all did.
Isn't that amazing?
We all did concerts from home, and we put our Venmo out there, and people asked for songs, and our fans. I cannot stress how important our fans and friends and family are, because they really supported us and got us through everything by the skin of our teeth. Like, we could not have done it without any of them. And so fortunately, I was very fortunate. I found another band that I could rely on. And we were one of the restaurants that got to stay open for a little while. We got to open up sooner. So I got to work a little bit more than others did. So I was more fortunate on that end.
That's great. Okay. So, I mean, you've written a lot of songs. How long have you been doing this now? Since 2018, you said?
2018.
So have you been, did you write before that? Or is this something that you all of a sudden said, so you started writing in 2018.
So that's why Noah plays a very important role in that part, because I have a hard time putting thoughts to words. Instead, I kind of Aaron and Brian do this with me too. I sit and I'm like, hey, this is the story I have. This is why it's sentimental to me. This is what I want to say. And they'll be like, cool, here's the melody, here are the words, now sing it. And then so it comes out of, all of our stuff comes out of real feelings and real stories. And it's just really cool to watch it happen and to be able to do it with these three guys.
Oh, it's amazing, huh? So what's your favorite of all your children? What's your favorite?
That is such a hard question, because my first one, I love the first one that I was part of, but I will say, I think my favorite is one that Noah and I wrote together called Tell Me to Stay.
I think you did that one too. And that was where your breakup with the guy, right?
It was.
Yes, that was a great one. That was a breakout song for you when you were doing the round, the singers or writers round, or
yes, in the writers round.
Yeah. And that you could tell you were singing that from your gut.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't even thinking about it. You were just like, that was that. So as you are singing that song, does it take you back there? Have you ever been singing one of these gut-wrenching songs and all of a sudden just wanted to start crying, or do you stay out of your emotion and just perform it?
I think the only way to do those songs is to get into the emotion. So even if I can't pull off of that relationship, I guarantee there's some other part of my life where I'm just like, I just wish somebody would tell me to like stay. So it's like, I always pull from somewhere. It's, that to me is very important.
Yeah. Yeah. And so if somebody wants to get a hold of you or listen to your music, what is a great place to go to for that?
Facebook and Instagram right now. Facebook and Instagram, it's Katrina Austin Music on all of those platforms. There is a YouTube. I need to update it. There is a YouTube, and the team and I are working on getting in the studio to release music on all platforms. So as soon as that's done, I'll post it everywhere. If that's the best way.
And what's your best advice for someone who would like to follow their dreams? Maybe there's fear, or maybe their family owns a shoe store and everybody works at the shoe store and they want to fish or whatever. What would be your advice for them?
Just do it. Like it sounds so cliche. Just do it. Like, just, if you know what you want, you know that you don't belong there, just do it. Just find some people you can surround yourself with and that you trust, and just do it.
Very good. Well, thank you so much. And we're going to continue our conversation afterwards. Now think about that song that you're going to be sharing. We'll probably have you and Noah sing your first song because I know you only have 20 minutes afterwards. So we'll get you guys started to kick everything off, and then everybody can at least listen to music. So thank you so much, Katrina. I mean, you touched my heart there, and you will continue to, I'm looking forward to seeing, sky's the limit for all of you. So I'm just really excited. So thank you so much for sharing today and being vulnerable.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Okay, Noah, come out from wherever you are. Now you're kind of like the ringleader here, aren't you? You were the one that put the group together, didn't you?
Oh man, I don't know if you can kind of say that I put the group together so much as I just had an opportunity to put all of us in the same room for a show one day. I am kind of just lucky enough to know everybody that's on this call, and that's really my job. It's, you know what I mean? It's like me and Brian write, me and Aaron write. Sometimes me and Brian and Aaron write together. Sometimes me and Katrina write together. Sometimes all four of us write together. So I just happened to have an opportunity where I could get all of them in the same room. And you just happened to see the first time we were all together.
And what a blessing that was for all of us. So I want to encourage all of you that if you ever have an opportunity to attend an event like this, I mean, how can somebody find an event like this, Noah? If they want to,
as far as like writers rounds and things.
Yeah, like a writer circle or.
Yeah. So Instagram's a great place if you go on. If you like to find things on Facebook and whatnot, you can pretty much any artist you follow will have venues that they played at. If you go to those venues, social medias, 9 times out of 10, they will be doing some sort of event, some sort of writers event. You always want to look for things like writers rounds. You want to look for things like open mics. You want to look for things like open jams, where it's like different musicians and stuff can come in and sit down and play a few songs. Stuff like that is where you're going to, really hear and find some really cool stuff that you wouldn't find anywhere else. I've got to work with a lot of great people just based alone on going to these events and going to writers rounds and bumping elbows. And, hey, you reach over the bar, can I get a beer? You bump elbows with somebody and, hey, oh, you write, why don't me and you write together, that kind of thing. Wow. Me and Brian actually met by doing we were scheduled at a writers round and had never met. So we go to this writers round, we sit down with 2 other guys that we didn't know. And we just happened to be at chairs that were next to each other and, just kind of hit it off. I really like your songs. Hey, thanks, that kind of thing. And you go from there.
Wow. Okay. So we kind of started in the middle with you. Let's go back and share a little bit about your background and what led you to your passion today. And you're like about to release Somebody. And so let's talk a little bit about what got you to the Somebody. Sure.
I started playing guitar when I was 7 years old.
Wow.
Music was always in the house, but never like a job, right? But my grandfather loved and collected guitars and played a little bit. And my grandma was kind of one of those old Southern grandmas that sang while she cooked and, did these things. And my mom is a killer singer. She sang in the car and stuff like that. And, so music was just kind of always around. It was never something I was discouraged to do. Mm-hmm. When I picked up my guitar, my mom asked me, did I want to take lessons? Hey, do you want to sit down and really learn? Is this something you really like? And it was always, no matter what I tried in my life, it was always something that I had that I held on to. I always had multiple guitars. I always would go to, school and come back and sit down in my room and play and I would try something else like football or baseball and it wouldn't work out because it just wasn't what I was passionate about. And mm-hmm. I would go and sit down with my guitar and start playing again. I really learned, that I liked performing. I liked being in front of people. I was in drama and acting class and stuff like that. And just really liked performing for people, making people happy, connecting with people. And music was always something that I liked to do. So when I was about 16, 17, I started taking it more serious. Then I moved to Nashville when I turned 18 and have been playing nonstop downtown for the past 7 years or whatever it's been.
Wow.
I'll be 25 in May, so I don't know the math on that, but
yeah, well, you are at, you're at the beginning of your life. You're like, sky's the limit. As I listened to your story, it almost seemed like it was like, listening to Katrina, she's talking about her family have this and she's breaking out. It sounds like this was like a gradual thing for you. Was there anything that pushed you towards saying, this is what I want to do? What was it that perhaps maybe in your life made you say, this is what I want to do? No doubt whatsoever.
That's a wild question. I think what it came down to for us was I had a full ride scholarship to go to Florida State, and I was going to be a wildlife conservation officer down there in Florida, basically. Mm-hmm. And that was really kind of my path. And I had done a couple shows here and there in my hometown, and people had told me, hey, you sound pretty good. Hey, we like hanging out and watching you play, that kind of thing. And then somehow I came to Nashville on like a trip where, if I remember it right, it was 100 breaking artists that were like really low on the social media scale, where it's like you had a couple hundred people maybe that mm-hmm. followed your pages or whatever, where you got to come out to Nashville and play at this festival. And it was like 100 people. Mm-hmm. And that was really cool. So I come out here. Well, that festival gets canceled after I show up, and we're trying to figure out what to do. And I do an open mic at Tootsie's on Broadway. And the booker that was working there at the time came up to me and said, hey, do you live in town? And I said, give me 2 weeks. And I literally like told everybody, hey, I'm leaving. If I ever have a chance, if I'm ever going to get a hope at this thing, this is probably the biggest sign you can get as far as like, hey, I have a job. I have a place to go. Let's see if this works. And then from there to where we are now, the journey of learning what it takes to really be the artist that I want to be and go where I want to go with it. That's been a wild ride.
Well, I can imagine. And was there ever a time that you made that decision, you made the leap, you left your family's home, you're now on your own? Was there ever a time that you felt, oh, I don't know what I was doing. I can't believe I did this. The doubt and fear. How did you overcome it?
I think, you guys said it best earlier, where it's not really an option. It's once I moved, it was you run this thing into the ground as hard and as fast as you can go, as much as you can push, as hard as you can go, make that happen. Because I was taught when I was really young, an old saying that says, if you're going to do anything, you better do it 100%, or otherwise it's just not worth doing.
Correct. Yeah.
And with that, you take that into the dream, you take that into anything you do. So you make that decision, you go, all right, I'm in this 100%. And then you sleep on couches and, you don't have a place of your own. And then when you do have a place of your own, you can't make rent and things like that. You are in this limbo, in this battle of, I'm trying so hard to push this dream, and it always seems like you're getting knocked down, or there's some, battle to overcome. And sometimes those battles pile up and you go, am I really doing this right? Am I living the right dream? Did I choose the right thing? If I was a wildlife conservation officer in Florida right now, would I be happier? Could I be happier doing anything else? And at the end of the day, when you get to that point, you have to have that piece in you that is that driving force of, yes, I'm happier doing this. I know for a fact this is what I need to be doing. I know for a fact that this is what I'm meant to do. So let's keep going. Let's not give up yet. We got more work to do. We got more time. Let's keep going.
Very good. Very good. We all have moments like that. We all have moments like that where we're going to make some sacrifices. But if it weren't for the sacrifice, how do we know the victory? I mean, if it weren't for that, when do you get to rejoice and, rejoice in the small victories? Like now you have, how many downloads has somebody had?
So somebody was released like 10 days ago, and we have over 50,000 streams so far.
That's great. That's great. So how do you decide when somebody comes together, and I guess we could talk about this later if it's too long or too complicated. When you're writing together, are you in total trust of that person? Confidentiality, or who gets the credit? How does that work?
So with anybody, if you're sitting down with one other person, that song should be split 50-50. If you sit down with 3 people, you're going to get 33.333%. If you sit down with 4 people, you're going to get 25. The more people you add, the less percent you get. But that's just the way that good business is done. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
If we're going to sit down and work together, I know that I want to get paid, and I know that you want to get paid. So how about we just be honest with each other and just cut it equal? That way, nobody can come back to, say, oh, well, I wrote more than you did, so I need to get paid more, or, oh, I did more work, or whatever the case is. And like you said, a big part of that is trust, full trust, but also understanding people's emotions. Writing songs, puts you very vulnerable, in a very vulnerable place. You have to tell, stories with people sometimes you just met or haven't worked with very long. Aaron has a great saying that says, when he's writing with multiple people, he goes, remember, it's not us against each other. It's us against the problem, which is trying to, write the best possible song. And I think that, a lot of trust and vulnerability goes into that.
Very good. Very good. Wonderful. Wonderful. And we're going to talk a little bit left afterwards. So how can people find you when it comes to your music, Noah?
So NoahGarnerMusic.com has pretty much everything. It has links to everything. And then if you look up Noah Garner on any streaming platform, Noah Garner Music on all social media platforms, you'll find me.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. And then I'm hoping maybe you can sing. No, you probably can't sing Somebody later, or maybe another song, whichever one is your favorite. So which one is your favorite?
Right now, it is definitely going to have to be Somebody. That's
of course. And we're going to hopefully hear it soon. So thank you so much, Noah. And before I bring Aaron in, I want to, and Aaron, you can come in if you like. Before I do that, I just want to encourage you guys to go to whenyouneedafriend.com and please subscribe while you're there. If you are a subscriber, you have all of their contact information. When you click on their name, it'll take you straight to their website or their music link or anything to that effect. So I want to encourage you all to do that. And while you subscribe, when you're there at whenyouneedafriend.com, and I hope all of you guys have also gone to subscribe to my website, and like and follow all our social media, especially BitChute and Odyssey, that are, they say they don't censor us, but we need to build those accounts up. And so while you're there, also check out my Shop Now bag and my sponsors, my Shop Now bags, which will give you an opportunity to get some discounts, my affiliate programs for beauty products, organic beauty products, health assurance, fitness, alternatives to pain management, and depression. So this is different ways that you could do it without taking the pill. If my registered service mark is you can take a pill or you can take responsibility. Not that I'm against the pill, but I'm for doing everything possible to live the life of your dreams. And which is what all these young people are doing today. They're teaching us how we can, even at the young age, follow our dreams and have zero regrets. And so last but not least, you can become an enrolled student in the classroom. So if you're looking for a place to tithe or donate or whatever, you can do so at whenyouneedafriend.com by becoming an enrolled student. Your time, your talent, your treasure, all of that will help grow the classroom. Just a little while ago, Noah was talking about how you have to trust and how all those things that come together. And I know that when I saw all four, Brian, Katrina, Noah, and Aaron, when I saw them all together, you could tell that they form a bond. And Aaron, you're not the last one because I think you're the least. So I just want to make sure I confirm that. But the important is the camaraderie, the trust, the vulnerability. So share a little bit about your background. I mean, you're a tall guy, all of you guys are great, but I'm just saying, when you're that statue and you're singing a song that puts you in a very vulnerable place, it's got to come from somewhere. So share a little bit about your background and what led you to where you're at today with your music and songwriting.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Like Lillian said, I'm from Minnesota and I kind of look the part too. I'm actually there right now, which I put a jacket on because it's a little chilly here. But yeah, it's just, I grew up, born and raised in Minnesota. I've sung my whole life. My parents have really, really fostered that singing part of it. I used to sing national anthems when I was 6-7 years old at high school sporting events. But and looking back now as an adult, I kind of forget that they bought me a guitar when I was probably 9-10 years old. One of like a half size thing, a little bit bigger than a ukulele, but had 6 strings. And at the time I had no interest in it. It kind of sat in the corner, but getting into my adult life and how much support I have there, we can touch on that a little later. It's been really cool to look back and say they were kind of trying to foster that at the time. But been singing my whole life. I was in the band from 5th grade on. I would join choir in 9th grade. But, never thought about music being a career. I always felt like I was a confident singer. I wasn't necessarily a super great singer, but I just didn't really care what people thought when I was in the choir. So I would sing out, I would sing loudly and proudly. And I think that kind of rubbed off on some of the other people that were in the choir. And, but then one of my best friends in high school, his name was Isaac. He was a guy, better looking than I am, better hair than I do. He had more luck with the ladies than I did. And he decided that he was going to pick up guitar. And it's one of my favorite stories to tell because it's just everything happens for a reason. But I was jealous. I was fully jealous of my friend, who's still a good friend of mine, that he picked up a guitar, because I was like, man, that's really cool. I should pick up guitar too. And away we went. And I joined I was a charter member of a bluegrass band in my hometown that summer. After I graduated high school. And after 2 years, I kind of really wanted to take the next step. A friend of mine, her name is Christina, plays the fiddle, graduated with her in high school. She and I both wanted to take that next step, but everyone else kind of just weren't necessarily feeling it. And that's perfectly fine, because this, it's everyone's on their own path and everyone's got all the things that they want to do. And so I moved to Fargo, North Dakota, and Moorhead, Minnesota. They're sister cities. And I lived there for 6 years. And that's where I really became a solo artist. I started songwriting a little bit. And it's been really fun because Christina is now one of my best friends and still plays in my full band now 7-8 years later. And it's been just a fantastic ride. But then, like I said, I was playing shows, I was writing, but I never really thought that this was going to be it. And it wasn't necessarily, I didn't love it, but I never really thought that I could compete. This is country music. It's Nashville. And I didn't grow up in the South. I'm not from a farm. I grew up in the city. And one of the things that I've loved about country music that I never really gave myself credit for is that the storytelling aspect of it. And everyone's got a story, and everyone deals with love, deals with heartbreak, deals with loss, and all of those things. And I know you touch on it a lot, and I know these guys touch on it a lot as well. And everyone's got a story, and there's no reason that I shouldn't fit in that. So once I kind of got over that hump, I felt a lot better about it, and maybe this could happen. And then I released an album back in August of 2020 that ended up, against all odds and against all expectations, went to number 5 in the iTunes country charts when it came out. Wow. And I've always felt really, really strongly about the support that I've had at home and support I've had in my fan base. But when that happened, I was like, man, I think I got to take a shot. I think I got to go to Nashville. And I spent the next year prepping, writing, and I was also in a year-long lease that I just recently signed in Fargo. But I spent that whole year kind of getting ready, and I moved down to Nashville in October. I met Noah a few weeks later. Wow. Through Brian. I knew Brian up in Fargo because he lives in North Dakota, and we met a few years ago, but really haven't started working together until I moved to Nashville. And it's just been such a great experience, and to be able to be creative every single day is a blessing.
That's wonderful. And so what place do you go to when you write music? Where do you have to draw from when you said that people have tragedies or devastating times, and where's that place that you go to when you really want to write a song or feel like there's a song coming on? What's going on in your heart and your head and your body and your life?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, we're all about authenticity. When you're a songwriter, when you're an artist, you want to be as authentic as possible. And really everything that I've written about is drawing from, in some capacity, something that I've gone through, or someone very, very close to me has gone through. And I've been able to share in those emotions with someone. And going from, and I played this song when you were at the listening room in Pigeon Forge, but about the cafe in Urich, Missouri that I went to that has pictures on the wall of people who have passed away and things like that. And then another song that I wrote, which was actually my favorite, called I'm on My Way, which was I wrote in the first week of being in Nashville. I wrote it with Brian. And, these are all feelings that I've had. And sometimes different feelings, come to the surface at different times. And as a songwriter, and as anyone, it's important to listen to those feelings and keep track of them. And as songwriters, these are all potential ideas for songs. So I'm writing down, just like any other songwriter, this isn't any different, but anytime you get a feeling or an idea, like you're writing it down and so you can recall that later. Maybe sometimes you're opening your voice memos and you're when those feelings are the strongest, maybe you're recording some things and just a stream of consciousness about what you're feeling right then. And then when you get into a writing room with people as talented as Noah, Katrina, and Brian, you pull that open and something magic sometimes happens, and it's really, really fun.
Do you know when it happens? This is it. This is it. So how can people find you? Because I know there's some questions here, that we got some questions in the classroom, but afterwards, for those of you who are listening on podcast, there's going to be a Teacher's Pet Corner. So you may want to join the live event or a recorded event so that you can listen and watch the class, the songs that they do. So how can people find you, Aaron?
Yes. So at Aaron Simmons Music, wherever on any socials, there's 2 A's in Aaron, 2 M's in Simmons. And we also established that there are also 2 S's in Simmons, but they're not successive S's. So I don't need to say that.
One at the beginning, one at the end.
Right. Exactly. And I have music out. Like I said, I did an album. I've done 2 singles this year or in the last 6 months. I got another single coming out probably in the next 6 weeks about my grandpa. And I'm super excited about that. So you go any streaming platform, iTunes, I've got music videos on YouTube. Just search Aaron Simmons and you'll be able to find it.
Any advice for someone who is like holding back and they want to follow their dreams, but fear is holding them down? What would you say to them?
It really is as simple as you just got to go for it. And for me, there's really no backup plan. This is what I want to do. And it's been great. There's a great Jim Carrey quote that he spoke at a graduation about how his dad could have been a great comedian, but he decided to get a safe job as an accountant. And then when he was 12 years old, he was fired from that job. So if you can fail at something that you're not passionate about, why not give it a shot at something that you're really passionate about? And,
wow, that's beautiful.
It's been one of my favorite quotes, and I just came across it this morning. And whenever I need to hear it, it somehow makes its way back in.
Very good, very good. Thank you so much. And so all of you, come on, you can come out wherever you are. And for those of you who have typed in a queue, we'll address your questions in a little bit, and hopefully we'll all get serenaded by all these wonderful, talented people. I want to go back to something that Noah said. He said, you could always second guess. You can always go, what if I would have become this, or what if I would have gone that route? And as a coach, people ask me that question all the time. It's the shouldas, the couldas, and the what ifs in life. And the way I respond is like, how do you know this is your right step? It's because you took it.
Right.
You took it and you're there. So all of you are exactly where you want to be. Final words of wisdom. I'll start with you, Brian. When it comes to somebody wanting to get in the industry, what would you say to them, Brian?
Man, have thick skin. You got
put on your girl panties. Go ahead. I didn't mean to add anything to what you said. Go ahead, keep going.
I like that's funny as heck. Yeah, you got to have tough skin, and I mean, I don't know. This gets said a lot, but you got to get used to hearing no. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't mean get used to it in the way that's like, oh, I guess it's always going to be no, but use that for fuel to keep pushing forward.
Passion instead of poison. So very good, very good. Okay, you, Katrina.
Meet people, get out, meet people, do all of the things. And if you get tired of hearing no, just cry for a minute and keep going, because that's all you can do.
Awesome. Okay, you, Noah?
Keep it pushing. Always keep it pushing.
What does that mean? What is pushing?
Keep it moving, however that looks. If it's, you're putting out a single, if you can only put out 1 song, if you can put out 10 songs, if you can only go to 1 writer's round, like that kind of thing, always do the best you can to keep things pushing.
That's awesome. What about you, Aaron?
Show up. We talk about it all the time about how many great things happen when you just show up. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing what can happen.
What a great way. That's a great words of wisdom. Now, we're going to do the Teacher's Pet Corner in a little bit once we say goodbye to the classroom and the podcast recording, but know that you can listen to these songs, come back and listen to them on YouTube, Facebook, BitChute, and Odyssey. Okay, so once again, Brian, so we got 1 minute. And so what's your website real quick, Brian?
BrianLowry.com.
Katrina?
Facebook, Katrina Austin Music.
Noah?
NoahGarnerMusic.com.
And Aaron?
AaronSimmonsMusic.com.
Awesome. Awesome. All of you have touched my heart in so many different ways. I know that everybody who's watching today, they have some questions. We'll ask them later. We'll get to Noah and Katrina first because they have only a short period of time. But I want to thank all of you because you have the courage to do what you're doing, you give permission to others to do things they do too. So for whatever journey that took you there and brought you here and us there into the listening room, I'm just very grateful. So thank you all for being a part of it. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.
Thanks, guys.
And please remember, we'll be right here waiting for you worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. This is Lillian McDermott, Aaron Simmons, Katrina Austin, Noah Gardner, Brian Lowry, wishing you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best day
Ever.
Good job. That's the best ever. Hold on.
The opinions and advice expressed on the Lillian McDermott radio show are intended for the individual callers and guests on the program and are presented to our wider audience solely for general educational purposes. Please act responsibly and consult personally with your own medical, psychological, or nutritional expert before taking any steps to improve your life.
Okay, somebody wrote that song for me. They interviewed me and they wrote that song for me. And, you know, one of the reasons that we have the music is a lot of people, when we were coming to the radio show or whatever, they'd be so nervous. And so dancing is what we did. We would like right before the show, we'd dance because it would put them in the moment. And so as songwriters and performers, I am so grateful that all of you dance. So I just wanted to say that. So thank you so much. Okay, so we do have some questions. Let me see if we have any questions for Katrina. Keep up the amazing work. This is from Sharon Adams. Katrina and Noah, keep up the great work. Noah and Ashley. Noah, it's Ashley. Quick question. When are you coming to Florida? Yeah, I'd like to know that. I'd like to be there.
Gosh, I have a big calendar. Hold on. We are looking at, oh gosh, where is it on the dang thing up here? I think we're looking at, I want to say it's like April. I can't find it with all these written up here right now. Okay. But I want to say it's April.
Okay. They can go to your website too, right?
Yeah. It's always any show.
And where are you going?
It should be Dade City, Florida.
Dade City. That's Miami, like around Miami, right?
Well, that's Dade County. Dade City is actually more central Florida. It's around like Zephyr Hills.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's not bad. Okay, well, good. Well, you know, just you can go to whenyouneedafriend.com, click on the link, and it'll take you to wherever it needs to go to. So, okay. So we have a question here. Fans in Florida sharing you guys with everyone. We can't wait to see all of you on the big stage. You are all so talented. Very good. So that was, I don't know where the question is. Fans in Florida. Okay, I guess I just read it on the air. So let me see if I see any more cues. If you want, if you have a question, please type in a cue. Okay, let's see. Now you got to copy the question, type in the cue. Let's see. People saying how much they love your music. Okay, so let's do the music here. So. Okay, let's start with Katrina. And are you going to both sing together or are you going to do one apart?
Yeah, we were kind of thinking.
We're going to go ahead. We're going to do the duet that we wrote because we love that. Like we love that one. We know the guys love that one. So
that's real great.
Let's do it.
Oh, they say it's where the heart is. But the hardest part is mine's with you.
And I've tried at least 1,000 times to find someone new, but they ain't you. Going round and round in circles in this town over and over, getting nowhere. We play these games. I don't know why we stay this way. I can't understand why we can't work it out. Holding tight to these strings, running circles in this ring. watching each other going crazy.
Going crazy.
Just praying one day we'll stop this train. Just praying one day we'll stop this train. No one will ever see me the way you see me. That ain't fair.
All I ever wanted was to try and love you, but it's been hell. Going round and round in circles with you over and over, getting nowhere. I don't know why we play these games. I don't know why we stay this way.
I can't understand why we can't work it out.
Work it out.
Holding tight to these strings, running circles in this ring, just watching each other going crazy.
Going crazy.
Just praying one day we'll stop this train. Just praying one day we'll stop this train. Holding tight to this train,
Running circles in this ring.
just watching each other gone crazy.
Going crazy. I don't know why we play these games. I don't know why we stay this way.
I can't understand, but we can't work it out.
Work it out.
Holding tight to these strings,
Running circles in this ring.
just watching each other going crazy.
Going crazy.
Praying one day we'll stop this train.
Just praying one day we'll stop this train.
Just praying one day we'll stop this train.
Yay! Awesome job. That's Katrina Austin and Noah Gardner. Once again, how can they find you? I know if you can stick around a little bit, I'd love to hear all four of you do something together, but can you stick, where can they find you, Katrina?
Facebook and Instagram, Katrina Austin Music.
Okay, Noah Gardner. NoahGardnerMusic.com. Okay, awesome. Great job. Any final words that you'd like to say? Because just in case you have to go, I just want to make sure.
Thank you so much for having us. Boys, a pleasure as always.
Y'all are gonna kill it if we can't stick around. I know y'all are gonna sound great.
I am looking at time. We do have to get out of here. I'm so sorry. We love you guys.
No problem. We love you guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Miss you guys.
Okay.
Bye.
Let's see. Okay, let's start with Brian. You're next.
All right.
Get to be highlighted on.
All right. I'm not sure which one I want to do yet.
Uh-oh. Do you want to wait till Aaron goes first?
We'll go off the cuff here.
Okay.
I got it. We'll do a brand new one.
Okay.
This one's called Long as It's With You, and it's about kind of the journey that my wife and I have. And it's her birthday today, so happy birthday, Brittany Lowry.
Oh, happy birthday.
I got my dreams, you got yours too. Yeah, you put them aside so I can do what I do. It don't seem fair that I always choose Yeah, maybe it's time you're the one standing in my shoes. I'll pack our bags and you pick somewhere new. But what about the mountains in Montana, the Smokies in Tennessee, maybe a coastline in Carolina? Hell, I'd settle for New York City, take some acres in Oklahoma, or a mansion in Malibu. I'll replant my roots as long as it's with you. I know you miss your family, it's a long drive. Yeah, wouldn't it be nice to say be there in 5? Or would you want to go where no one knows your name? Yeah, it's your call, there's no need to explain. But we'll unpack our bags and pop champagne. But what about the mountains in Montana, the Smokies in Tennessee, maybe a coastline in Carolina? Hell, I'd settle for New York City, take some acres in Oklahoma, or a mansion in Malibu. I'll replant my roots as long as it's with you. What about the mountains in Montana, the Smokies in Tennessee, maybe a coastline in Carolina? Yeah, anything's fine with me. I'll take some acres in Oklahoma, or a mansion in Malibu. I'll replant my roots as long as it's with you. I'll replant my roots as long as it's with you.
Yay, that's great. That's beautiful. You know, after you started singing, I thought, oh, I wish you could do Jacob's song, the song with the baseball player. And I like that dung. I couldn't believe I forgot. But that's great. Wonderful, wonderful, beautiful song. And happy birthday to Brittany. That's my daughter's name. So yes. So where can people find you, Brian?
Yeah, Instagram is where I like to hang out quite a bit. Facebook also, but you can get all my music wherever you stream it. And I've got that song and one other song called Listen Man that I'm going to release, not on Spotify or iTunes, but I've got some cool live music video stuff happening that I'm going to release over the next couple weeks on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. So check that out.
Awesome. Very good. Very good. Can you stick around a little bit and we can get Aaron in next? Could you guys do any songs together?
I think it would be tough with the little bit of latency.
Got it. Yeah.
It would probably be tough. We have written a ton together, including the one that I'm going to do. But
okay. So it's your turn to shine. This is Aaron Simmons.
So this song's called "I'm on My Way." Essentially, I'm 27 years old. All my friends are getting married, having kids, getting engaged, all of those things. And we talked all about it. I'm living my dream right now. But there are some things in life that I still want to do as well. And I feel like I'm on this path, and I'm going to meet whoever I'm going to meet when it's going to happen. So. This is a love letter, to whoever that is, called "I'm on My Way." I'm known to be a little misguided, chase the wrong girls, chasing who I'm meant to be. My big heart's got room inside it, but my queen's got a cold side next to me. And I'm wondering when he'll lay down the one he made for me. I'm on my way. No, you don't know me. In every prayer I pray, you're in the words I speak. I can't say your name and I don't know when, but keep your eyes on the horizon, baby. I'm coming round the bend. I'm on my way. I'm known to be a little excited. I've been told to tone it down, but it's who I am. 'Cause who I am, I can't hide it. Every hand that I've been dealt, I go all in. Knowing that you're someone I don't want to miss. I'm on my way. No, you don't know me. And every prayer I pray, you're in the words I speak. I can't say your name and I don't know where, but keep your eyes on the horizon, baby. I'm coming round the bend. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Yeah, I know they say it's worth wait. And I know this winding road that I've been on gets shorter every day. I'm on my way. I know you don't know me, and every prayer I pray, you're in the words I speak. Can't say your name and I don't know where, but keep your eyes on the horizon, baby. I'm coming around the bend. I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you.
What a very lucky woman that she's going to be receiving this song. You already are visualizing her and manifesting her.
I hope so. I hope she's a lucky woman.
She will be. She will be. How can people find your music, Aaron?
All my socials at Aaron Simmons Music. On Instagram, there's going to be a little underscore at the end because someone hacked and deactivated my account, so now I'm building that from nothing. But at Aaron Simmons Music, 2 A's and 2 M's. And then Aaron Simmons on any social media or any streaming platform, iTunes, all of those things, including YouTube. I've got some music videos out as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And I just want to say thank you to both of you. And of course, Katrina and Noah. I just am so grateful that we could all get together. This is like my own private or our own private round, listeners corner or whatever, the writer's round. And so I'm just grateful that we keep calling it a circle because round is a circle. It's just how I think, But before we go, Brian, will you do that song for my little boy grandson, Jacob? Will you be able to do it?
Of course. Yeah.
Okay. So can you set the tone of why you wrote this song?
Yeah. It's a song called My Biggest Fan, and it is also not out yet, but I'll be releasing it this year for sure. And my dad was the reason I wrote this song is my dad is a huge baseball fan. And so naturally I played baseball as a kid. So when you called me a baseball player earlier, I was like, I don't consider myself one, but yeah, for sure. I played baseball as a kid. And when I told my dad, I think I was 12 or 13, when I told him I didn't want to play baseball anymore, and I'm pretty sure it broke his heart a little bit. But he's always been my fan, and regardless of what I've been doing in life, whether it's playing music or going to college or kicking a football or whatever it is, he's always my biggest fan, no matter what I'm doing. And so that's why I wrote this song. And hopefully one day I'll be able to be my kid's biggest fan. And so here it is. I wrote this song with a friend of mine named Morgan Rahm. You should also check her out. She's wonderful. In the yard, back when I was 3, had a wiffle ball at tea. You signed me up for Little League. I couldn't hit it far, I fouled it off the tree. I wore that jersey that you gave to me proudly. You didn't care if I was good. I struck out more than I should. You only wanted me to do my best. I may not have known it then, but my favorite times were when you gave me a thumbs up from the stands. I know I can always count on you to be my biggest fan. It's 20 years in that office chair. When things get tough, I look at that frame sitting there. I can't help but smile when I think of that day. Still hear the words you say, but it hits me now in a different way. You didn't care if I was good. I struck out more than I should. You only wanted me to do my best. I may not have known it then, but my favorite times were when you gave me a thumbs up from the stands. I know I can always count on you to be my biggest fan. Suddenly 17, life threw a curveball at me. I hung up my glove and gave that bad one last away. You didn't care if I was good. I struck out more than I should. You only wanted me to do my best. But when I have a boy of my own, every single milestone, I'll be there cheering in the stands. He'll know he can always count on me, like I can always count on you to be my biggest fan.
I love that song. And that song, I asked him to play it for my grandson, whose father has been a baseball player in college and loves sports. And Jacob is going to have his first T-ball on Saturday. So I'll send this one to him so that he can be motivated. So thank you guys for everything. And I did say where all of you could be heard. So please support your local talent. What's some word of advice? Because I gave Brian a little extra plug. Aaron, what would be a great place where people could go to if they wanted to hear the local talent? What are some of the, and I think Noah talked a lot about it, but if somebody just tuning in right now, what would be some things that we can do to support you guys as musicians? Yeah,
absolutely. There's definitely, there's musicians everywhere, obviously. And I know we're all really based out of Nashville, but if you go to Nashville, or if you don't, if there's ever any live musician playing, an acoustic musician or whatever, there's a very, very good chance that even if they're playing cover music, cover songs and songs that other people have or other people have written, odds are that they have original music. They have songs that just sometimes people don't want to hear them, and they want to hear songs that they know. So if you're ever going out to a show, a way to make a musician's day, a way to make them feel heard is to request an original song. You might not know what it is, but it's going to be the highlight of their night. And we put so much time and effort and energy and passion into what we do for people to request songs that you've written, or to want to hear something that came from you, that came from nothing, that came from inside your head. And sometimes, like we've talked about today, it's some of the most vulnerable things that that create some of these things, and it'll make their day, and it might be the reassurance that they need to keep on going. Okay, maybe people do want to hear me, because there's a lot of that early on. There's a lot of needing reassurance, and there's a lot of people not listening. So anytime that you can request original music, support original music for anyone, including us, obviously, but for any musician out there, original music is our passion.
Very good. Is there anything you would like to add to that, Brian? Is there anything that you'd like to add, how we can support you guys?
Yeah, for as a musician and artist, the support comes in very small form. Go stream one of our songs, go, buy a sticker from a shirt, merch, all that stuff. Like every little bit helps, and sharing stuff, right? Like if you love a song or you got a shirt, like put a picture of it up on the internet, share it with the world.
Is that possible? I mean, because I know that when I want to share something on YouTube or Facebook or anything like that, is there a copyright, or is there any laws keeping us from, being able to publish some of your music?
If it's already out there, like for example, if you want to share a song or one of my songs or one of Aaron's songs or Noah or Katrina's from Spotify or Apple Music,
share it. Yeah.
There's links to copy the link, and that shows it takes the listener right there. And yeah.
I hear what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Okay. So just share it. So wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom today. And I hope that this has triggered within us a thirst to go and support live music and entertainment and get out of the house. And if you are a dreamer and you want to be a singer, songwriter, reach out to these guys. Can they reach out to you and your websites, and maybe you guys can mentor some other person as a result. So thank you so much for everything that you're doing. And all of you who are watching, please support these wonderful musicians, talented musicians, and we'll see each other tomorrow. Thank you guys, and we'll see you soon.